Pigeons, pigeons, pigeons.
Squirrels, squirrels, squirrels.
Donkeys, donkeys, donkeys. All these animals that One Jin love.
Donkeys.
Keeps in the
King
bed
Kong.
every night.
Donkey Kong.
For some unknown purpose. Here we go. La, la, la. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe J Movies So Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm One Jin.
Today we're going to start off with our spoilers review of The Substance, starring Demi Moore.
Mm-hmm.
Me and One Jin grew up admiring her so much.
That's right. You know, my favorite movie of Demi Moore is G.I. Jane.
Mm-hmm.
That movie was so badass.
Mm-hmm.
My,
Wait. Before you do, big shout out to Eva True.
oh, that's right.
Thank you for the replies. Yes, it does cause a us or them mentality. I guess I watched too many American movies growing up, but I think they try to correct that with Marvel's Captain Russia.
Yes.
Thank you so much. Big shout out to Scott Walker, Kayla Marie, Jasmine, ZZ, Lee Chan Hong. I cook for my wife. Music.
Soulless Trenchcoat.
I lost my train of thought.
And
did I shout out music?
Scott Walker, music. Void a Parrot.
There we go. Void, thank you so much for leaving the reply. No worries. Your personal life is before anything else, of course. And Russian ID. And the guy who asked us about Indonesian rupee. Indonesian bourse.
Yeah, the exchange rate.
And all our 58 subscribers.
Mighty 58 subscribers.
Baby. Here we go. Why don't you go ahead? You were talking about Demi Moore.
I was talking about G.I. Jane.
Yes.
You know, I watched that movie when I was in like 5th grade or something. I still remember like her dialogue that was so powerful because she's a Navy SEAL and she's going through the training and all these like other male cadets, they don't accept her as one of them. And I remember there was this like one scene where she's going through the interrogation and torture training. And Viggo Mortensen, I think it was Viggo Mortensen, the guy who plays Aragorn in Lord of the Rings.
A History of Violence.
Yeah, and I remember Demi Moore telling him to suck my dick.
Oh yeah, that was a very famous line.
And that's like the moment she gets accepted as one of them. I thought that was like badass.
And we also have the woman who was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I forget the actor's name. She was great in this too.
Hold on. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood?
Yeah, she's the one that Brad Pitt gets on a car with, and she's a part of the hippie group. She's part of the
that's
Massive.
her. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, very beautiful. She does kind of. She. What did you think? Did you think she looked like Demi Moore?
No, I thought she didn't like resemble Demi Moore at all.
Yeah.
But I thought that was actually better because I was expecting that like the better, younger version of herself would be like CGI, heavily CGI'd body double of Demi Moore.
Yeah.
You know how they can use the body doubles and then they can use computer graphics to swap out the faces and everything. I thought that's what they were gonna do, but I think getting like a slightly different person play that role was also a pretty good idea.
Yo, but Won-Jin, I gotta say, first of all, this movie was fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
in a good way.
It was really disturbing, but like you said, it wasn't disturbing for being disturbing sake. It was disturbing with a message.
Basically it's a satire.
There's a lot of commentary.
So many elements. For example, my favorite part of it is, this is spoilers review, is near the end when Sue and Elizabeth are one. I think they're called
Monstro Elizabeth.
You know how the audiences, the women scream and run, but the men come to kill her. So it kind of reflects the woman's fear of them becoming ugly like that, and men's like a wrong sense of chivalry code to kill the monster. So it was saying fuck you to everybody.
Yeah.
And another highlight for me was the producer, played by
Dennis Quaid.
Oh my! Hey, Won-Jin, I gotta say, because Dennis Quaid was in the movie, I searched his name. I did not know that he was not an Academy Award winner. I thought he was an Academy Award winner, and he was so good in the role. And I gotta praise the movie so much because.
By the way, I love the fact that his name was Harvey.
Very subtle.
Very subtle. And yeah, that was definitely a jab.
Yeah.
But anyways.
No, just like I think it reminded me a lot of Oldboy because this director is so good at focusing on the disgusting part. You know, remember in Oldboy when
the octopus?
No, not the octopus part, but he got caught and they try to pull his teeth. And then the scene goes longer than we're comfortable with. And then he doesn't do it. And here, and remember that tongue scene where he tries to cut off his own tongue?
Ew.
So here, remember that scene where in the bathroom she's pulling on her own teeth? And it just like, it reminded me a lot of the violent Korean movies that use that so well, where they just
like you while you're watching the scene as an audience, you kind of flinch
because it's playing with your expectation because you think they're just not gonna show it off screen, right? No, but it's there forever. I'm like, are you gonna do it or not?
And it's like zoomed in.
Yeah, are you gonna do it or not? Oh, what's up, ZZ? Oh, you didn't get the notification. Oh, good job. You watched The Substance. Yeah.
I'm still processing it.
And and this is like a weird homage to, how One Jin I always mention like Stephen King's Carrie.
Yeah.
But you know what's so funny? This one is more feminist than those films in my mind because it's about an aging woman. And because and the movie plays with that. You know how when Demi Moore is offline, she's open her mouth, she's like portrayed as disgusting, while Sue is all beautiful, like kind of this princess and hag, like girl and witch. No, because I think it's intentional.
And yeah, that's a great point because throughout the movie, although it's disturbing, I still get to see a lot of this like fairy tale element, just like you said, this princess and this like witch. Yeah.
No, and it's kind of an inversion of that because the movie isn't saying Elizabeth is a witch, but it is also saying that as well. So it's like a double fuck you, like because it's not defending the witch. It's actually reinforcing, but actually telling us a lot of message. Because what does the movie keep telling us? You are one.
That's right.
And in the middle of the movie, they did such a good job of contrasting them that I was confused for a minute whether they were one or not. Like I was confused of the whole system.
Yeah.
It started so soft and then had so many naked scenes and it was like, okay, cute. But what is the point of it? And then it hit you. Oh my God, it hit you hard. At one point, she sounded like Simi go, hey, Zezzy, now that you mentioned naked woman, you know what the naked woman scene impressed me so much?
What?
Is that, despite it being sexual, I was totally disgusted by it. Like
that's true. So it didn't like involve any arousal of any kind. Yeah. And I think that was also very intentional. Yeah. And you can just tell that it's intentional just by the way the bathroom is designed.
Yeah.
That place, although, it's the bathroom of Demi Moore's house, and you look at the rest of the house, it's a beautiful place.
Right.
But that bathroom, I'm like, who would design a bathroom like that?
Oh, that's such a good point.
In a house like that.
Of that.
Because that feels like it's like
a
public bathroom, or it's very clinical. So it already makes you feel
claustrophobic a little.
Claustrophobic. It makes you feel uneasy. It kind of feels like somewhere you perform an autopsy or something.
Yeah, hey, I didn't think of that because the horror element for me was the tunnel scene. You know how the hallways, kind of like Shining, where they're isolated, either isolated or heading towards hell.
Yeah,
because that's like the one-way street that shows. So there's a lot of visual storytelling like that.
Yeah, and in the first 5 minutes of the movie, I could already tell, like just from the way that the movie was shot, I was like, when the movie begins, they show the Cannes, like Palme d'Or kind of thing, like the award thing. I instantly understood why this was like filmed at Cannes, because it was from that moment. It showed like the hallway and everything. I was thinking to myself like the mise en scène. This is very artistic, and very intentional. Yeah.
So I think the director took a cue from a lot of different directors, including like for me, Oldboy Park Chan-wook director. I didn't think much Tarantino because Tarantino owes a lot to Carpenter as well. I think Carpenter was a huge element because I gotta be honest, when they said before they went into the last 30 minutes, I was just so horrified of what was going to happen. Because the movie did such a good job of, like, I had no idea that was going to actually happen like that.
And we just feel that something horrible is going to happen. It's just waiting around the corner because we get those, like, dream sequences in the middle that kind of act like a foreshadow. And if you look carefully, there are a lot of foreshadow elements throughout the whole movie. Like even when she's like going to the pickup place for that the substance thing, you know, the Dropbox thing. You see that cockroach on the wall with the extermination thing. Oh man.
There's and the symbolic shower without doors. And you know, another thing that impressed me was when Demi Moore Elizabeth becomes Sue. I even like how the sex is treated. Like when she was, it's almost like she's doing something greedy. It's not a romantic thing at all. Like, and I want to thank the director for not having a disgusting sex scene because I was like in the middle of the movie, I was like, am I gonna get species? Like, please don't do anything like. Like,
because we already got that, like, the tight zipper suit and everything. It reminds me a lot of Species.
And this is feminist in the fact that the men are totally isolated from the main, like, conflict and conversation. They're either, like, to be fucked and dumped, or, you know, remember that board member scene where they all look like they want to fuck her? Like
and
Sue.
And they're all these, like, old white men.
So, like, this is feminist in the fact that the men are really in the periphery. They're not really part of the central conflict. The central conflict is this woman unable to make peace with the fact that she's old. And one of the best scenes for me was when I think this is why Demi Moore deserved a Golden Globe. I don't know if she won or Academy Award, but
I think she won something.
Okay, but the most powerful scene for me was when she got that date
with Fred.
Okay, I was wrong about the guy being periphery. This regular looking dude, like it's kind of a hidden critique to women as well. It's really, that's why I think I didn't get the, like, knee jerk reaction from watching, like, quote unquote woke movies, because this one was very, very psychological. It's about women's vanity, but it's also about women's insecurities. And because another thing that really I think resonated with me, I mentioned Carrie, but you know, Won-Jin, how our life expectancy is getting longer. So this is very relevant in the fact because, like, our grandmothers never had to worry about aging because by the 20th children, she was already old. But here, we have finally a woman, like, dealing with what beauty is. Is it the outer beauty? Is it the inner beauty? I'm rambling on.
Yeah, but like you said, that was also a very well thought out scene. Like how she cannot leave the mirror. And every time she's about to leave the house, it's that fucking billboard outside that pulls her back to the mirror. And as an audience, I was thinking, you already look beautiful. You should just go and meet Fred. He's gonna love you. But that's just not how the psyche works.
No, but now that you said that, Won-Jin, now that you said that, I'm getting it. Maybe the toilet symbolizes her emptiness inside.
Oh, you mean the bathroom?
Yeah, the bathroom. Because her house is, because the bathroom is, you know how, for example, Tarantino movies, people die in bathrooms. Like, bathroom is such a symbolic place. It's where you're the most private.
Yeah,
it's
the most
honest.
intimate place.
So now that you said that, I'm getting this. So maybe that's intentional because despite her outer beauty, she's really empty inside.
And maybe the complete lack of decoration in there kind of shows how naked and raw she is in there.
Yo, and shout out to Demi Moore for going naked on this film. Because as a woman, I don't think it would have been easy for her. I don't know if she intentionally got a little fat or she's like that's her real body.
Fat? You mean plus size?
Oh, sorry. My apologies.
Political correctness.
Oh my. Okay, that was such a fuck up. I apologize. But chubby. Okay.
Chubby.
Like, okay.
Yo, how dare you?
Okay.
Okay. But anyways, we get the point.
Up because I thought because honestly, I did not expect her to get naked, like completely naked, and the camera is so unforgiving. It makes us see everything.
Yeah.
So unforgiving.
I think that's like every woman's nightmare. Like all those like pores showing up. And
I was honestly a little like taken aback.
It was like ruthless.
And it's kind of a critique to us audiences. For example, I just said the F word, so like it's already criticizing my like sort of like beauty standard. Because how as men, because it's a critique on men too. Because for example, the aerobic dance, I thought I was watching porn.
Yeah.
And
you know what that scene reminded me of? When Sue gets the part, she goes to the audition and that music plays and we get the close up of the ass and all these different body parts, all sweaty. Like you said, it's very pornographic in a way. It reminded me of that music video of that song, Satisfaction. Remember that song, Benny Benassi, was it?
Yeah.
That reminded me of that music video. Yeah. It's like women's sexuality commercialized to the max.
Right.
Yeah, that's what it felt like.
The bathroom. The bathroom is the shell, the cocoon, the egg where she gets reborn. Yeah, Joe, for her, she looks better than life. I know. I'm so sorry. It's such a stupid slip up, Zed. I'm so sorry. I know.
No, you can say that.
She's beautiful.
You said fat, but with the PH fat.
Yeah, I know she's beautiful, but let me defend myself, Zezzy. The camera intentionally. Because remember, even if you're old, you usually do poses that make you look attractive.
Yeah.
But the camera was like her slouch.
Yeah.
And her, you remember like that scene where she's trying to get in, like do the device? Like, that's not how you usually take a picture, even of an old, beautiful woman. And so I thought that was really done well. I can't watch scary movies on the channel. Oh, but we really recommend this. Big shout out to your channel, Scott Walker in the house, baby.
What's up?
Yeah, how old is she again? Did she see that chest not fighting with gravity? Her skin on the lower back still tougher. What's up, Walker?
I think she's like 60 now.
Yeah. Walker, we're going to do a review of The Substance. And then Disney, I think.
Skeleton Crew.
Skeleton Crew. And then we're going to do a Let's Talk. So.
Oh, she's 62 years old.
No, but don't you think she got a lot of work done too, though? Like, I'm being honest.
Probably. Yeah. But I think this movie is also a commentary on the plastic surgery stuff, too. Because I think...
You think so?
Yeah, I think one of the criticisms that they get is because they always go, like, beyond what's necessary. And, I think some people get addicted to plastic surgery, and they just keep working on their face until it gets to a point where it's actually a lot worse than it used to be. And I think this whole movie plot is also like a big commentary on that. Yeah, because it's really interesting that we have like two different personalities, like literally two different personalities who are somewhat connected. And what was it? What's taken from one? Oh, no.
No, but One Jin, I disagree. I thought they had the exact same personality. The only difference is one is old and one is young.
Okay, remember, that makes sense because they're both greedy.
Because her name is Sue. That's shorthand for Elizabeth. And just one is...
Or it can be Susan.
Of course, but my point was they're the exact same person. They're both of them have vanity, and one can't handle it. One can because she happens to think of herself that way. So they're acting different. But when the phone call comes in, which is like it's almost like God calling. It's almost like God calling, basically. Keep saying, because it's a fairy tale. Like I think you mentioned fairy tale, and the fact she has been warned though.
Yeah.
But I thought they were like, because when they combine, that's the actual Elizabeth, her soul. That's how I felt. Like because anyway, okay.
It's all twisted.
Yeah. No, Joe. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay.
No, Joe, you don't need excuse yourself. Korean beauty stands for women. No, it's on a slip up. I'm so sorry. I should have said that. Trish and I are watching Disney's Kim Possible and Disney's Scale Girls when we're having a dinner and The Conjuring, and we just watched the final episode of Cobra Kai season. Nice. I love Conjuring.
Void apparel, what's up?
Void in the house, baby. What's up? She had a lot of work, especially on her face, and I think she actually took the role because she knows the struggle of handling. Yeah, that's true, Zedzi. That's why she was perfect for the role.
Zedzi mentioned the body dysmorphic syndrome. I think that's also another commentary on this movie.
Oh, you mean the chicken eating, right?
That too, and the very fact that this leads into like self-hate. You know how with the era that we live in, where we have social media and people post pictures of themselves that have like discrepancy from who they actually are, and because they use filters and and they heavily edit their own photos because that's how they actually want to look to other people. And eventually this becomes really like bad. It kind of becomes a disorder, I heard. And they just cannot accept who they are in real life. And they kind of deny who they are when they see themselves in the mirror. And they believe that the heavily edited photo that they see is like who they really are. And I felt like when Elizabeth and Sue, when they fight against each other, I thought that was like, oh man, that's like a full manifestation of self-hate.
Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde. Yeah, Jekyll and Hyde. And
there's so much hate against herself, especially from like her age.
And it is also commentary on our, need for acceptance. Because do you love me? Do you love me? Do you love me? But one of the things is this is also like a art house movie in the fact that it's also a fuck you to us. Because I was just caught saying the F word to women. So it's, and the audience too, their hypocrisy. And another great touch was that little girl trying to look at something beautiful. But it's also not a fuck you because we all have this desire. It also reminded me of Devil's Advocate. Al Pacino's line too.
Yeah.
My favorite sin is vanity. And, aren't we all a little bit guilty of that? And I thought it was just smart that way because I'm laughing, but I'm not laughing as an audience because I'm guilty of a lot of these things. And, it's kind of a warning, but also a fuck you.
Yeah.
So overall, Void Appear. What a coincidence. I was just watching a philosophical breakdown of substance. Oh, really? That's nice. When you have body, please rewatch our video again, Void. We made some pointers in the beginning. When you have body dysmorphia, it doesn't matter what you do to improve. It's never enough. It's never good. And even with surgeries done, they still think they are not beautiful enough. Yeah. And the chicken eating is that obsession of the flesh.
Yeah.
You know how we sometimes call, our image about bodies, our obsession with them. And I thought one of the best scene was when Sue pulls out a chicken drumstick.
Oh yeah, and I think that was one of the dream sequence.
Yeah. But is it a dream though? Because this thing you can argue this whole thing is a dream. Because
that's also a really good point. Because as I was watching this movie, I also got this like vibe of Mulholland Drive by the recently the late director. Yeah. David Fincher. Oh, yeah. Mulholland Drive is also a brilliant movie.
No, because you remember the ending? It's a moonlight. And that's a story. You know how Arabian night is always night? So it's that story when she fades away. It's sort of a commentary on fables. It was a story. Yeah. And here we go, clean. The star is rusted. And there's just... And you know what I admire about this film? It's simplicity too. It's such a simple story, and a lot of, and this another good thing about this movie is this is what movies can do because this movie is not dialogue heavy at all.
That's right. There are very limited dialogues throughout the movie. And the lack of dialogue is what actually like pulls us into the movie. And like you said, this is only possible through like visual and audio representation of this story.
And the song "Pump It Up," "Pump It Up." Yeah. Oh man! So overall, a great feminist movie. It's one of those that's done really well. I think. Oh. Yeah, Scott Walker, we were talking about Demi Moore that starred in Substance. Also, the fact that she turned into Monster Sue at the end, it has a lot of symbolic. Well, she's not called Monster Sue. It's Monster Elizabeth Sue. So she's like what it is. What do you think about that monster design?
I thought it reminded me of Witcher. Remember? With Witcher, we see a lot of these monsters. It was so bizarre.
It was the Thing, basically, from Carpenter.
And I thought it was kind of funny towards the end because of how like the monster tries to cover the face with the photo of Elizabeth. Not Sue, but Elizabeth. And I also love like the joke on the boob on the nose because it kind of like gives birth to a boob through, I think, its nose. Man, but it was so disturbing.
No, but it's also a great symbolism because behind the mask of Elizabeth. That's how ugly she is. Like her obsession has caused us this.
Yeah.
And you know, and in Elizabeth's defense though, she did have a choice in the beginning when she retired and got a French cookbook. You know, because you know in here when her food eating, it's kind of portrayed as disgusting. But remember in Godfather, for example, the food eating scene are break from the violence. It's where family meets and love is enjoyed. So food can be like actually representative, like life affirming.
And also you have to understand that for people suffering from depression, cooking is a very good way of healing yourself because it helps you improve your self-esteem.
But the great thing about this movie Symbolism, I want to add to that, is because she watches it from television. And this is a critique on TV too.
Yeah.
Just like there was this horror movie that satirized late night shows. It's also
the one we saw.
The Devil.
What was it? The Night with the Devil?
Yeah, The Night with the Devil.
Yeah.
It's a commentary on our commercialism. How sex and eating is like that's why I'm adding to your dysmorphia comment, because like her eating like that is triggered by a commercial.
Yeah.
I mean, of course we know that we know that she's having psychological problems, but it's so weird because beauty and sex and food can be something completely different from this. So this is like a complete capitalism on hyperdrive.
Yeah.
That's why that aerobic dance is about sex.
And we also see that commentary on capitalism through Dennis Quaid. Because remember that scene where he eats the shrimps in the restaurant, which is like super disgusting. That's just like the portrayal of like total greed right there.
And you know, remember he keeps saying numbers. 50 million people are gonna watch the New Year's show, and all Sue's boyfriends are hot models that really sound dumb. You know, so Demi Moore, she did that movie Striptease years ago. Yep.
Yeah.
Also, the kitchen is small and poorly equipped because her dietary habits were bad. Yes, we can read into that.
Yeah, that's also a great point. Considering how big the house was, the kitchen is like surprisingly small.
And she's always cooking something that she knows she can't all eat. Because if you look at it, she's not really necessarily getting more chubbier. She the foods are left over.
Yeah.
Like overconsumption. And I just. Oh, anyway, man, that was a great experience. Like I never had when I saw 2 hours and 20 minutes, I honestly thought, am I gonna get bored around 1 hour mark? But no, like
but, you know, like 10 minutes into the movie, I knew I was gonna enjoy this.
Yeah.
I was like Wu Chanung said, I was kind of concerned that maybe this movie would be too scary or something.
Yeah.
But man, this was a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of mishmash of great movies in the past.
Yeah, and props to Demi Moore.
Yeah, Demi Moore.
She delivered.
And all the supporting actors too, and the practical effects. I think the arm and spraying of the blood was such a great fuck you to everybody.
I thought that was also like a commentary. You said it was like a fuck you to the audience, the whole movie.
Yeah.
That's like basically just telling us the blood is on all of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and literally, because the guy chops off her head, like acting like a brave knight, and really, like, no one felt sorry for her at all. Like, not one person, not even herself. It's such a.
Remember in the beginning and the middle of the movie, like you said, she was given a choice.
Yeah.
And just like a fable, we're just seeing the consequences of her poor decisions.
Oh, the cinematography was unique and there were good use of color. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, that was also really interesting. I was noticing the colors because they're very like 60s if you think about it. And another really like interesting thing was not only the choice of colors but like small details. You know how like when Demi Moore makes the phone call, remember she used that landline inside her house?
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, like, who the fuck still uses a landline? She had that old ass phone. And maybe like that represents how like behind time she was. But
and the hallway she walks is kind of, the color is more reserved.
Yeah.
But when Sue walks in, another symbolic thing is Elizabeth actually has a lot of work. Like, she have made a lot of history because you see a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
But Sue's is just one.
Yeah.
And it's empty.
I was thinking to myself, when I saw that hallway with Sue's poster pasted on the wall, I was like kind of thinking to myself that aging again with Sue, it's gonna be inevitable because down the line, that's the end of your career.
Right.
Just like Elizabeth, after like the hallways filled up with her what's it called, like what would I say, like chronology of her career from like the beginning to the end. Sue's has just begun.
No,
but
I agree.
Yeah.
But it's also a symbol how short youth is.
Yeah.
Because you know how Elizabeth has more pictures, her age.
And after about 3 pictures, she's already getting old.
Yeah, and here she just has one picture and it's just gonna disappear soon. It's like that, like a bleep. And the irony is, when she was Sue, she could have done anything, but she had to take back her job.
She had to be in aerobics again.
Yeah, I mean, no, but that's sad because you know how like some people can't escape their jobs. And it's really a psychological thing. I mean, sometimes there's a realistic problem. Let's say you have a family and you need a salary, but a lot of that is psychological.
Yeah.
You know, because a company or organization isn't really real.
That's real.
It's a mind state.
Now that you say that, that's a really good point.
No,
because I think Elizabeth also kind of shows us that she's refusing to move on to the next chapter of her life.
Right.
And she's repeating the same chapter.
Yeah, because if you think about it, if you're Sue, you can do anything. I mean, you could do even better than that.
Yeah.
And why do you have to do that? So, but anyway, like she was with a foot in the past and with another foot in the present. She can't do anything else, Joe, because I don't think she's in the. Well, okay, yeah.
But youth gives you like opportunities to start fresh. Because I'm pretty sure that Demi Moore, Elizabeth, even when she was in her 20s, she was probably starting to do the aerobics back then. So maybe she can pick up something new.
Yeah.
But
anyway,
she chose not to.
For the sake of our dinner time, it's time to give a number grade, man.
Man, I would give this. I think I would give this a 10.
Really?
Yeah. I think I can watch this again.
Oh.
And I would probably find more layers and details into it.
Oh, that's rare for Won-Jin to give to a horror movie.
So am I willing to watch it again? That's like one of the key points. Will I discover something new when I watch it again? Probably yes. And was it like an entertaining experience? Disturbing from time to time, but very immersive. Very well done.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 9. 9. I would say it's near perfect. I would say it's near perfect. But a perfect, I don't know. I don't think I actually need to watch it a second time though. But I might watch it down the road because it was completely entertaining. But I do think it owes a lot to the great past movies though. Yeah. Like a lot of Korean revenge movies, a lot of Carpenter movies for sure. Thanks for the practical effect and the cinematography. Because, you know, long shots and those things aren't new, though. Yeah. I think what the director should be credited for is making a feminist movie that is fucking good, you know. But I was surprised by her performance, yes. So, JoJo Movie So Awesome is going to give this a 9 points. 9.5. 9.5. We strongly recommend this if you're a horror fan or if you just like a good movie. And if you can stomach some disgusting shit. Because, let me warn you, this movie is fucking disgusting. And the thing was, at least in the 80s, this one, the camera is so...
Yeah, and like, oh man, the resolution's too high.
I know, man!
We get to see so much detail.
Oh, fuck!
Disturbing.
I regretted watching... I mean, so much of human biology that I did not know. Like, I mean, and the spine, coming out of the spine, it's like a sadistic butterfly. You know how a butterfly comes out like that? It's like a sadistic butterfly. Yeah. Before you end, tell me your favorite scenes. Oh, you go first. Why don't you?
My favorite scene would be... Oh, man, there's so many, though. I really like the scene where she was trying to, like, change her makeup and go back to the mirror before the date with Fred. I also like the beginning where she's kind of being washed out. So I like the scene where she's about to have that car accident. You know, when the billboard is like ripping her face off.
Notice how he doesn't mention any of the disgusting scenes.
Yeah, and remember, that's also like a foreshadow, her face ripping off from the billboard. Right. And then, you know, she gets into that car crash, that horrible one.
I gotta say my favorite scene is the ending. You know how Demi Moore's face have like fingers coming out and crawling to the Hollywood star.
The star.
Yeah. didn't have any least favorite scene. I liked them all.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Big shout out to Voida Parrot, Scott Walker, ZZ, Lee Chan Hong. We're going to take a really short break and come back to talk about Skeleton Crew.
Yeah.
This has been Joe Jim. Oh, big shout out to Eva Truth again. Thank you so much. Don't miss our shout out. Big shout out to everybody. This has been Joe Jim Movies Are Awesome. I'm Joe.
I'm Won-Jin.
We'll see you guys in a bit.
We'll be right back
Bye,
with Skeleton Crew.
Donkeys, donkeys, donkeys. Donkeys, mules, cows,
Pigeons,
cows,
pigeons.
eagles, marmots,